Good evening, everyone. My name's Tom Riome. I'm chairman of the Public Works. Public Works? Hadn't done that for a while. Finance and Property Committee here in Wisconsin Rapids. We're meeting in the council chambers at City Hall on Tuesday, December 7th, 2021 at 4:30, almost 4:35 p.m. A few minutes late. With that, I'll call the meeting to order. Committee's all present. Alderman Person Bepke's
I can't hear.
and Jay's on the, Jay's in the council chambers.
I just hear a faint voice. Tom's voice is very, very quiet.
Yep. Jake's on Zoom with us. Okay, so with that, we'll get item number 1, called meeting to order. Review and approve proposal to purchase a used Finn T30 hydro seeder. Paul?
Okay, thank you. So what I bring to you is we demoed a hydro seeder, and then we rented it for a month. And through the demo and renting of it, found out that it creates a better practice for us. We're more efficient in doing restoration on the projects. Right now we use erosion matting that we put on the back of the curb. And a lot of the residents, after it being down for 2 or 3 weeks, when the grass starts to grow through it, pulls the erosion mat up and puts it in the street. A lot of times rips out the grass seed, and then we don't get a very good take. With the hydro seeder, we're allowed to, we put down tackifier mulch that it stays there until the grass is established, and then biodegrades into the black dirt or gets mulched in. Typically, a brand new unit costs anywhere from $18,000 to $20,000. This unit was put into service in the middle of the summer, and being that we rented it for a month, they're willing to take 100% of the rent off of the purchase of the unit, and they're willing to sell it to us for $11,800. So a little bit better than half price, and that also has the $2,200 worth of rent taken off of it. It'll allow us to, like I say, create additional efficiencies, and probably be more cost effective and put together a better product. We used it, like I say, on 4 jobs this summer, or late summer, early fall, which obviously is the ultimate time for growing grass, and we had very good success. We were also able to put a liquid fertilizer in there at the same time, which helped keep the weeds back. And we had a very good take. Like I say, it was ultimate conditions here this fall or whatever, but I think it'll allow us to provide a better product to the customers with this and be more cost effective.
Any questions by anybody? Patrick?
What year is this hydro seeder that we're purchasing?
It's a 2021. It was put into service about July, and it's my understanding that obviously most of the time what these vendors do is if they put it out for rent, they take the rent off of the price at probably like 50%. So I'm guessing that someone else rented it prior to us. He would, like I said, if we hadn't had rented it at all, he would have sold us the unit for $14,000.
So rent for it was about $6,000?
No, what I'm guessing someone else had rented it prior to us. That's why it was at a reduced price. So if we wouldn't have rented it, he would have charged us $14,000 for it. But since we rented it for that 1 month, the $2,200, he's taking 100% of our rent that we paid into it already off of the purchase price.
Okay. And this was did you negotiate this with him?
It was what? Yes.
I'd say that's a good negotiation. That's all. Thank you.
Jay?
I'll make a motion to approve of the purchase of the Finn T30 hydro seeder.
I'll second that. Anybody else have any questions? Jake? Anything?
No questions.
Okay. If there's nothing else, committee will vote. All in favor, respond by aye.
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Guys have it. Item 3, review and approve a proposal to purchase a roller attachment and counterweights for Public Works skid steer.
Okay, so last year, not 2020, we purchased a skid steer, and like skid steers, there's all kinds of attachments for them to get them to do multiple different things. One of the situations that we have is we only have one steel construction roller within the Public Works Department. So there's lots of times, and that machine is typically with our construction crew. So a lot of times what happens is our construction crew finishes a project, they move on to the next project, and then we come in and contractor puts in the curb and gutter. Then we come in and shape the gravel for asphalt pavement. We really don't have a proper tool to compact the gravel properly. And so, years past, we've either rented it from a local contractor, we've borrowed from Wood County Highway. We'll go and grab it from the construction crew, move it to the project for an hour, then take it back, multiple times throughout the shaping of the gravel and things like that. Just not very efficient. Because we're relying on other vendors to see if they have it available or not. And so a friend of mine who is a general contractor, he has a attachment like this for his skid steer, and we just got to talking about it, and he allowed us to use it on one of our projects. It worked extremely well. Typically, the skid steer is on the project anyways for shaping the intersections. So once we're done shaping, we can simply drop the bucket off the front of it, hook up to the vibratory roller attachment, then, compact everything. If we got to touch up after that or whatever, it allows that tool to be another tool, I guess is the best way to say it. He did a lot of the legwork for us because of him being a general contractor. He had tried multiple brands, and it just so happens, obviously, our skid steer is a Cat. And he said that, Bobcat makes them, all these other different aftermarket companies, and he had said that the Cat was by far the best one that he used. And like I say, I trust him. He's a friend of mine. He does it for a living to make money. So I'm not gonna, I didn't redo what he did, I guess is the best way to say it. I spoke with the salesperson that we purchased from. He gave us a pricing. The counterweight kit is not necessary to use it as the roller. The other attachment that we have, the Mr. Manhole Cutter, we feel that we need to put that accessory weight kit on there just to allow us to lift the manholes out of there quicker. So I'm just, kind of killing two birds with one stone or whatever. So.
Questions? Jake?
So is this thing, is the vibrator run off the hydraulics? Is it got its own motor? How does this thing work?
It runs off the auxiliary hydraulics of the skid steer, yeah.
And how much do they want for this?
So it's here. The vibratory drum is $10,000 and the auxiliary weights is $2,000.
Anybody else? Jake, anything?
No, I'll motion to.
Second. I
Motion
think
and
he made the
second?
motion.
There's a motion, yeah. Motion and second to approve the purchase. Committee, all in favor, respond by aye.
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 Opposed, ayes have it.
Thank you.
Item number 4, consider for approval a request from Wisconsin Rapids Fire Department to apply for the Assistant Firefighters Grant.
So every year we typically try to apply for this because it's a pretty good payout. It's a 95.5 grant. What we're looking to do this year is replace the existing exhaust capture system that we put in the both stations 15 years ago. We had some maintenance issues with it this last year. We had a vendor come in that did the maintenance on it, annual maintenance, and about 75% of the hoses are cracked, leaking. We've got wires inside the system that are corroded, and it's starting to get to the point where it's failing. We got quotes for both stations to change out, which would mimic what is in the new addition. So the 3 bays that are in the new addition, this will now all be the same. The total project is $103,000. Our match would be $5,150. The rest would come through the Assistance of Firefighters grant. We stand a pretty good chance to get that grant. This is on their high category because the life expectancy of that system is complete, and because of the capture of the exhaust and the safety and the carcinogens that come out of those vehicles. It's actually required by NFPA to have a capture system in a building that is closer within the confines of sleeping and living quarters. Because we're one management person down, I pulled in a former evaluator to do our grant for us. Mr. used to be former chief, Mitch Waite, who actually evaluates these grants. So between that and our high category, I expect that we'd stand a very good chance to receive this grant. So I guess I'm looking for the approval to be able to finish applying for the grant.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve to apply for the grant. There's no further questions. Committee will vote. All in favor, respond by aye.
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 Opposed, ayes have it. Thank you. Item number 5, consider for approval a temporary retail Class B fermented malt beverage license for Central Wisconsin Cultural Center Incorporated, 2651 8th Street South, for reception abstract artist invitational event to be held on Thursday, January 20th, 2022, from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Jennifer, do you have anything in addition?
Nope, this is just a normal application for an event. So everything's in order from my end.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve. Committee, any further questions? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, respond by aye.
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 Opposed, ayes have it. Item 6, consider request from E-Way Sales LLC, DBA E-Way Sales, Jonathan Reuter, agent located at 2660 8th Street South, number 105, for renewal of pawnbroker, secondhand article dealer, and secondhand jewelry dealer licenses. Jennifer?
These applications were both submitted prior to the ordinance changing at the last council meeting. So we're working on a form for them to fill out, a supplemental form requiring them to use the LEAD system. So my recommendation to you would be to grant the license, but I won't issue it until that form has been completed.
Okay, because of the new ordinance. The
Correct.
Form.
Correct. Tom, this would be the same thing for the next one,
Yeah.
the next item as well.
Okay, thank you. Questions by anybody or anything? Otherwise, I'll move to approve.
On the condition that,
Second.
Yeah, on the condition that Jennifer stated there, yeah. We have motion and second to approve on the condition that Jennifer had stated. Committee, if there's no further questions, we'll vote. All in favor, respond by aye.
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 Opposed, ayes have it. Thank you. Item 7, consider a request from GameStop Incorporated, DBA. GameStop, 2354, Diana, excuse me, pronouncing the name, Jahay, agent located at 930 Coon Avenue for renewal of a secondhand article dealer license. Everything's okay, Jennifer, with that? And
Yes,
the same,
based on the same,
Okay.
the same recommendation to grant the license, but I won't issue until the supplemental form has been received.
Yep. Okay. Questions or anybody? Anything? I'll move to approve the request.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the request. Committee, any further questions? Anything? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, respond by aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it. Thank you. Item 9, consider for approval a resolution amending the 2021 budget. Tim?
I think you skipped item 8.
8. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, jumped right past it. Need new glasses, maybe. Consider for approval the shared ride taxi operator contract between the city of Wisconsin Rapids and Wheels of Independence Incorporated.
Sure.
Okay, Tim.
Yes, this is for our mass transit grant. We have every 5 years we go out for bid, and this is the 4th year, or 2022 will be the 4th year of that 5-year. And basically, what this is, it's our standard annual operating contract with Wheels of Independence, and we're just renewing it this year. The only thing that changes in the contract from year to year is basically the funding rate. And that funding rate was set when, in 2019, that first year, when we went out for bid for those services. And then basically the state adjusts that reimbursement rate for CPI for each year. So the new contract for 2022 would be $1,004,166.73, and that's based on 40,070 and a half hours of service at the rate of $25.06. Of that portion, our local portion for that $1 million is approximately $61,000. The majority of the funding comes through federal, state, and obviously the operating income, the fares that are charged to the clientele. So this will be one more contract after this year, and in 2023 we'll go. The finance committee actually gets the task of going out for bid for this, and it's a rather extensive process, but that'll occur in 2023. So this will be the second of the last year for this contract. So, any questions?
Thank you.
Tim,
Oh, Pat. Oh, sure. Jake?
so does the Wheels of Independence go outside of Wisconsin Rapids? They provide service outside the city?
I know that there was an issue with mid-state and things like that, so I think in limited situations they may. Because I do believe that, I'd have to check the actual grant, the original grant documents with the state for that, but I can get an answer for you for that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, I'm not very familiar with it. I see it around town, but is this a service that picks up in Grand Rapids, Port Edwards, Nakusa, et cetera? Or is it strictly for Wisconsin Rapids residents?
I would say, I'm not going to say that there's no instances of that, but it's mainly Wisconsin Rapids. It's for, the city limits.
And what, second question is, so this is how long has this grant been around? So after this expires, are we applying for a new one and this service will be available again? We'll just put it out to bid, or what's that process look like?
Right. Yeah, we've had this grant for probably ever since I've been here. Like I said, it's the grant dictates that every 5 years you go out for bid, and the last time we did that was actually in 2018 for 2019 through 2023. So in 2023, we'll do an RFP for services, and it'll go out for bid, and then the finance committee is the one that evaluates those responses to the RFP and awards the next 5-year contract.
Okay, thank you.
Patrick, did you have anything?
Thank you. My questions are, is there any way to get stuff like this earlier than just before the meeting?
Yeah, I apologize. It wasn't included in the packet.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And I have no problem if we want to hold this pulled this over. There's no issue with that.
So
I
just so
I mean, I'd be fine with it moving. Sorry. I'd be fine with it moving forward tonight, and then we just have that information by the council meeting.
Or if we just want to kind of hold it over and have a finance before council so you have a time to review it, I understand.
I was just asking like who is the end user? I see that it is in here. So it's the citizens of Wisconsin Rapids are the end users.
Correct. It's our local cab service.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Thanks.
Jay?
I'll make,
I'd like to move.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract with Wheels of Independence.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve. Committee, if there's no further questions, call for the vote. All in favor, respond by aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Now, let's try number 9. Consider for approval a resolution amending the 2021 budget.
Okay.
Yeah.
The resolution that was contained in the packet is just some items that needed some adjusting or just kind of some budgetary, bookkeeping. I'll go through them one at a time. Just let me know if you have any questions. The first one is the general fund. When the 2021 budget was put forth in our new accounting system, there was 3 line items that were inadvertently excluded. So I'm adjusting the budget to include those in their 2021 budget, just so that it kind of squares it up with what their request was, or it didn't get in there. But these items were included in the 2022 budget request. So it's just kind of squaring up for those items that were inadvertently not included. The room tax fund, originally in the 2021 budget, just because it's based on, with the COVID and things like that, room tax revenues were adversely impacted, and and based on our estimates for the 2021, we took a very conservative approach. The positive thing is that those room tax revenues we're starting to see some recovery in that. So I'm adjusting the budget to increase those taxes by budget by $100,000, what was based on the original 2021 budget. And according to our ordinance and state statute, 70% of that room tax monies goes to the Visitors and Conventions Bureau. Park outlay is appropriated 18.75% of those money additions, and then for economic development activities, it's 11.25%. So the expenditure side of that resolution is just reflecting that allocation that we would make when we, based on the increased estimate in the revenues. Obviously, if we don't realize that full 100,000 of additional revenues, obviously those accounts would not be credited with those additional dollars. The next one is the grants and donations funds. Throughout the year, we receive various donations for specified purposes. And so what we'd like to do is recognize that revenue and appropriate it over to an expenditure account. So then when we use that money for that specified purpose, we have that designated account. And also it helps with if we receive a donation in one year, but we don't expend it till the following fiscal year. This is kind of how we would track it in our accounting system, and you would see it kind of come through on a carryover resolution of those. Police department continues to get donations in for the K-9 program. That's what that represents. We got a donation from the Rafters for specifically for trees, so we're recognizing that. About a month ago, maybe less than a month ago, we got notice from the League of Municipalities, our insurance company, that they were giving municipalities basically park and recreation grants. So the city received a check for $18,372 to be used for our parks. And so I'm recognizing that and putting that in a designated account. So when whatever we're going to expend those monies on is decided, we have those funds in that account. And then throughout the year, we do get donations and feed money for the city zoo. We put those in a designated account so that goes into the account that's used specifically for maintenance and improvements at the city zoo. Storm Sewer Utility Fund, if you remember earlier in the year, we had the 8th Street Culvert Rehabilitation. If you remember at that time, it was estimated that it would cost $110,000 to do that project. And at that time, they had anticipated that they would use slip lining to fix that. And if you remember when they went out for bid or got solicited bids for that, the lowest qualifying bid that the city received was for $399,000. So at that time, it was decided that they wouldn't go that route and they would do the open cut in the street to repair that culvert pipe. So our crews were utilized to do that project, but then we also obviously had to buy the materials, and then we had American Asphalt come in and do the paving. So based on the original estimate, based on just slip lining, the final cost came in around $211,000. So this budget amendment is adjusting it to reflect those actual costs that were incurred on the project, but obviously that $211,000 is a lot less than the low qualifying bid they had for slip lining of $399,000. The debt service fund and capital projects funds kind of go together. And basically, when we put together the 2021 budget, the fire station renovation, it was right at that point we didn't have exact costs because they were working on the design and things like that, so it wasn't included in the 2021 budget. But when we went out and once we got those final design and estimated costs, it was included in the 2021 bond issue. And this budget amendment is just reflecting, we received those bond proceeds and we're allocating them to the various accounts. Obviously, you see fire station renovation, that's $2.7 million. That was the estimated project that the proceeds were used on. But you also see in their bond premium of $247,000. When the bonds were issued, the city received a $247,000 premium on those bonds. And basically what that premium is used for is that we transfer it to the debt service fund, and that's used to offset the interest payments on those bonds in future years. So that's kind of what that part of the amendment reflects. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Anybody have any questions? Hearing none. Committee, what would be your wishes?
I'll make a motion to approve the amendment for the 2021 budget.
I'll second that. If there's no further questions by the committee, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor respond by aye.
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 Opposed, ayes have it. Item number 10, audit of the bills. Do you have check numbers there? I had them on here.
It would be check number 10856 to 10996.
Anybody have any questions? They were on our computer to look at. Hearing none, I would make, there's nothing there, or questions, I'd make a motion to approve the audit of the bills. A motion, a second, to approve the audit of the bills. Committee, all in favor, respond by aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it. Item 11 is set the next committee date. Would that be about the 3rd? 4th? Okay.
4th.
Okay. 4:30, oops, Patrick?
I think Jake had a referral that was supposed to be put in on this. And I saw an email also for this referral.
And I didn't bring the email back, or from our attorney, but it was because of, and I don't have exactly in front of me what it how it was worded, but, I think Jake got the, answer back from the attorney too, that it was, I don't know if anybody has it in front of them or not, the answer from the attorney.
I have it.
I don't think I brought it with me. I apologize for that part. Do you have it, Jake?
I have the email.
Okay.
Yep.
Would you care to read it?
Sure. So, in response to my request to have it on tonight's meeting, the city attorney stated, these are her words. It is my opinion that the budget and levy have been adopted and certified as it specifically relates to the McMillan Memorial Library appropriation, and thus any attempt to reduce the library appropriation at this time would be improper and untimely. Budget process was conducted and concluded pursuant to state law, and then it lists the 5 different areas of that law. Public hearing on the 2022 levy and budget was held. The 2022 levy limits were approved by the council via resolution. The 2022 budget was approved by the council. The clerk certified the budget and levy to the mayor, and the mayor approved the tax levy and budget by signing the resolutions. As such, the budget and levy have been certified and approved, and thus the appropriation made to the library is final and cannot be reduced. So that's kind of what was summed up and sent to me. So with that, I'm assuming that's why it's not on the agenda. Unfortunately.
I just read in the paper that changes could still be made until the end of the year.
What was that, Patrick?
Right, yeah, I mean, the budget can be amended at any time. However, with state statutes guiding what the library appropriation is, that's why the attorney gave her opinion that,
okay.
because we adopted it and certified it, that now it's according to state statute, once we appropriate the money in the McMillan Library, it's under their control. So, but, I mean, other parts of the budget, obviously, just like we just amended the 2021 budget, the 2022 budget can be amended at any point in time, except for, obviously, you know, the library appropriation.
Okay.
Okay, the next meeting then would be on the 4th and at 4:30. If that's all right with everybody. And with that, we're to item number 12, and that's to adjourn.
So moved.
Second that, do we have a motion and a second to adjourn? All in favor, respond by aye.
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 Opposed, ayes have it. We're adjourned at 5:08 p.m. Thank you.